Hello.
What a surprise. See,
Yeah, it's been a long time.
well, also,
Hi,
wait a second. Let me get this. Okay, wait. I know what I'm doing. How you been, Jen?
I'm well. How are you, Anton?
Doing good out here
Good.
in a foreign land.
Marlon.
The French guy that works for me, Fab, I used to make fun of him for being French. I'm like, hey, Frenchie, edit that song quicker. That's not how we do it. And then one day he came up to me and he calls Germany
Why are
the
you always
land of
calling
his
me
enemy.
Frenchie?
I am having a baby in the land of my
Nice.
enemy.
Sounds like
What
you
does
got
that
some
tell you
interesting
about
people over
France?
You got some interesting people over there.
Oh yeah, Fab is great. He's always like walks into the picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of times I'll be doing the show or something, and he'll just
Uh-huh.
be in the background like making copies or something on my printer.
Does he like to insert himself in there?
Well, he always walks up and he's like, "What is this you're playing?" Because I play an awful lot of French music.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I play stuff from all over the planet. I really do.
Absolutely.
I haven't seen anybody who does more of it. I mean, they used to have on KCRW, like Tom Schnabel used to have a good go at it, but then he didn't play so much old stuff. He played a lot of world stuff.
Well, as much as like Jason Bentley's KCRW Morning becomes eclectic, it's really not as eclectic as it could be, but he's doing a pretty good job.
I hate to tell you, those guys are making six figures just by the payola. That shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that whole station is so out of control. That's not your normal college station, like it seems like it could be. And it's not your.
There's this other cool one here. I think it has a similar call letter, like a call number. Instead of like 89.9, it's like 88.9. It's also really old.
It's called.
It was like a station around here.
KXLU, Loyola Marymount.
Yeah, KXLU.
Loyola Marymount.
Mm-hmm.
Are
you like folks like Gus Van Sant and Flea like calling in on their benefit hour to donate or whatnot, stuff like that.
One time I went out there. They had me go out there to DJ live on the radio, and I showed up, and they go, "Okay, but we only have 45 minutes." And I'm like, "You made me drive all the way out here to the west side or whatever for 45 minutes? Okay, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to play the parts of songs that I like." So funny. And I literally had 500 records with me, like just a madman all the time. And I literally just was playing like this, like just a riff from Jimi Hendrix, and then cut to something else. And people were getting so bummed because it was all just super great. Somebody called up and they're like, I put them live on the air, and and they're like, "I can't believe that you cut off that Wind Cries Mary like that," and I was like, "Listen, buddy, I don't come to Taco Bell and fuck with you while you're making fucking fucking burrito supremes, do I?" And then
you're giving your listeners.
I'm on the air and I'm cussing this guy out. I'm like, "Well, listen, buddy, you do sound serious. Why don't you come over here? I'm over at Loyola Marymount. Come over here and I'll punch you in the fucking stomach."
I'm not stepping on hot sauce packets with you in front of me. You know?
I know, and it's some girl called up and she's like, "I can't believe that you're cussing on the air." I'm like, "I'll slap the fire out of you." And then people were like calling in. It was so funny. People were calling in. They're like, "He just threatened to hit a woman."
You're like, now I'm making my songs 20-second sound.
I was like, if she was in the People's Liberation Army parachuting in from China, I'd shoot her.
Oh man.
I was just going off on the radio. It was so fun.
Good times, it sounds like.
Yeah. I've gone totally insane on the radio a couple times. It was so great. I had like the government call in Australia going, "You boys have had your fun. We're gonna shut down your frequency if you don't stop cussing." And then I was putting on like the crazy.
It's kind of polite that they gave you a heads up first.
It was weird because it was the actual government calling, like serious, like it was the police, but for the media, it was like they weren't fucking around either. And so I was like, "Oh, okay." And then I put on Pink Grease, the nasty show, like dirty version. So good. I wish I could find that song, man. If somebody's out there, maybe spliff riff can look on YouTube. But I want like the actual like 12-inch version of Nasty Show by Pink Grease. Somebody's got to rip that for me, and I'll play it. It's so great. It's so rocking. Yeah.
She's on it. She's got it down. Sobs.
But I don't want any of their Joker ones. I want the dirty fucking one with the cussing and the saxophone in it. That's just out of control. It's so good. If I put that on, we'll just be bouncing around like we've just had a Jolt Cola. It's so good.
Oh my God.
That's a good new bumper sticker for traffic. I'll slap the fire out of you if you honk or something like that.
Slap the fire out of Wall Street.
Yeah, exactly.
Here,
that's hilarious.
Hold on. I know. Watch this. Hold on. I'm gonna let's see. Add new screen recording shot. Okay, let me switch this over. Hold on. Watch this, man. I'll go to this Global Protest Live thing. Let me see. Type in G, and I'll just pull this with them right now. I'll just chime in their chat room.
Yeah, you haven't seen this yet, Jen, huh?
Watch this. Hey, Wall Street.
Yeah, Jen hasn't seen this yet.
Report back! Report back! Report back! If you want to be on stack, if you want to be on stack, move your working group. Please hold up your hand. Please hold up your hand.
Please hold up your hand. Or come over here.
Or come over here. Or come over here. Make sure that the stack keeper sees you.
Okay, they're showing. Here, let me go back up here. That was pretty funny for a second, and now my hard drives are spinning again. Like, the psyops people are like, oh, he just chimed in. We got to see what he's doing. Oh my God, he's showing them doing Chinese whispers in Boston. Let's put him out of business. Call in a drone strike on Anton's studio.
Yeah, right.
Well, that's a positive kind of gathering, I guess, over there. But on a real positive note, Jen's got her nonprofit benefit this Saturday in Costa Mesa. Should be pretty good.
Really cool. Where are you doing it at Costa Mesa?
It's just a little, it's like a kind of DIY venue. It's a house that was converted to like an event space over on Placentia in Victoria.
Sure.
And we're launching. We got this is update. You haven't heard this yet.
My mom's down that way.
A motorhome donated to us, so we're gonna go mobile. We're building a solar powered oven that we're gonna put in this mobile unit, and we're gonna go out to poor schools that can't afford to have creative programming and sort of environmental advocacy programming and stuff. So we're gonna take our little mobile vehicle out and post up in the parking lot of the schools in like Santa Ana, and hopefully when we have more funding, like East LA, and branch out that way.
You better You better just take the hubcaps off yourself.
No. And you know what? Here's what's even more rad. It's a 1979 Dodge Trans Van. It's way old. They can probably even have hubcaps. I don't know what it has. It's got like wheels, It's old.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm. So we're having the launch Saturday. Yep.
My good friend Eric Shovek's been doing stuff with like Tony Alva and Vans, helping like skating for kids. He's on my Facebook, Matthew. You can find him. But he's always
Tony Shava. What did you say?
Tony Alva, the famous fucking original skateboarder.
Nice, cool.
Yeah, I was surfing at Topanga the other day, and some guy was telling me about that, saying that he was asking me about my nonprofit, and I was telling him something, and he said the same thing. He's like, oh yeah, I work with Tony and, his skateboarding thing for kids and blah, blah, blah. Like, I, love to tell him about your organization. And like, yeah, great. Do it up.
Yeah, he's always, his name's Eric Shovek. You can find him on my friends list.
Cool.
But he's really politically active. Like all of his Facebook profiles are like him and Obama and all this stuff. And I'm like, did the Secret Service ask you why you had a Volkswagen Bug with the license plate Nuke DC?
They didn't think to check that first?
Registered in his name. He got a vanity plate in California when I was a kid. You know, like when I was just starting high school or whatever, his license plate was Nuke DC.
That's funny.
So funny, huh?
Yeah. And now they probably wouldn't even let you have a license plate like that.
There's no way.
No, definitely not.
He had to get rid of it because people tried, like, were fucking with the car and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So this is in Newport Beach.
Yeah, so I was going to say, especially in behind the orange curtain down there.
This is on Esther Street in Irvine Boulevard. Right next door to Leo Fender's son. The whole place was just filled with every kind of Fender. God, if we would have been into burglary or something.
Yeah.
Seriously, man. Did you see how much number 22 Telecaster just went for on eBay? The starting bid? 250,000 quid.
How much?
250,000 pounds.
Whoa.
Was a starting bid.
Crazy.
And then you could private communicate them. So
I'll take a $1,000 max, kind of like that box we were talking about. I'll take that and then invest in land and whatever. Make sure there's a water spring.
It's just fucking ridiculous, man. You're like, oh well, I could buy that Telecaster for $500,000 or whatever, or
Yeah.
I could go to Mexico and just like blindfolded pick a direction and change like 20,000 people's lives forever.
Totally. Yeah.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That is real talk.
What? So, because Anton, you know, I'm not a music person like you and Matthew here. What is so special about a 22 Telecaster?
No,
Why
it was serial number 22. It was the 22nd one made. It
Oh,
was in
okay.
some book for wanker guys about their bitchin' Telecaster. But the thing is, you know, my company guys, they just picked me up one. It was just like probably made in Mexico, right? It's a new one, wood, exactly the same color, right? Same condition, just basically, right? And it won't sound any different. It's just
exactly.
purely the fact that it's that old, and maybe the fretboard was from some endangered species or something.
Yeah.
From like Amazonian rainforest wood or something.
Exactly. But they're like frying Gibson's ass right now. They're telling them that they can't make. You have to use this really good shit for your guitars, right? And they're telling them they can't even import the wood, even if it's legal. That has to be processed in another country. That means that they can't even do their craft as luthiers in America. It's so ridiculous because they have to cut those things automatically right when they do it. Like they just took like $3 or $4 million worth of this wood from these guys. Second time they've been there, 24 bundles. It's like millions of dollars worth of wood. And they just said, you can't make this shit in America. And they're like, we bought this legally. They're like, sorry, it has to be processed before you get here. And they're like, that's not the way when you're making violins and shit that it works. You don't just go, oh, well, you just chop up a bunch of law.
Don't they have to be like fresh so you can like cure them in a certain...
No, these have to be really old. It has to be old wood. It already has to be cured. Because you would have that shit for years in your shop before you'd use it, you know? Unless it was just perfect. Because if it shrinks or changes, then it fucks up the craftsmanship of the thing. It's like
How do you have to make an instrument?
Well, they're called luthiers, and they study to do it.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
It's a craft.
It's like fixing your own car, you know? I can't even tell you. I mean, the simplistic problems with guitar repair I can do.
Hey, if Anonymous or Al-Qaeda attacks the electricity gig, DJs are out of business. Think about that. It's so great. You know what I mean? Then all of a sudden, like, your grandpa fucking is just, like, worth gold because he can play Old MacDonald on a harmonica.
A good thing you guys both know how to play acoustic guitar, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, you could play anything, right? Set your mind to. You just pretend that you have amnesia. Then you pretend you're schizophrenic and there's 12 people telling you that you were the best at it ever. Don't you remember you can do it, Timmy? And then you can do anything within reason. You can't be great at it, but what does great ever get you? You know, it's like your best thinking.
Yeah.
Steve Jobs wasn't that much older than me when you think about it. He was
50. Was he 56, 50?
Like 12 years older than me, and all that guy's money, that fool couldn't save him.
Yeah.
Yep.
Especially.
Absolutely. Right.
Yeah.
It definitely helped with this retreat having all the
Your American dream is out there, so go get it. Dreams don't come easy. They're gonna make you work for it. So put on your work boots, fire up your laptop, pour yourself a cup of coffee.
Every day.
Zillions, man. For Matt and I, the odds are 50-50 right now.
Yeah.
That we'll come down with it in our life.
For sure. When you add in all the toxins that you probably both grew up with living in Orange County, who knows, you know?
Not as bad as LA, man. Look at like Vince Neil's kid, just like completely chemo cluster in that whole neighborhood. Everybody.
His kid.
That girl, I think she's dead now.
Something. He had a sick kid or something?
Yeah, there was like 6 or 7 of them in his neighborhood in Calabasas there with like 40 of those houses because, you know, they bought this place away from everybody, right? Their white exclusive little like David Bowie street or whatever, right? But nobody told them that JPL Rocket Lab fired rockets out there.
Oh, shit.
They built those things all
That's
the way
right.
through the 50s. They just nuked that shit. All those neighborhoods, all that stuff. They didn't do it in the Hollywood Hills because it was right there in town. The farmers would bitch about it, but they did it on the other side. They did that shit in the valley. They did that all over San Bernardino. They fired rockets at all that shit. They wanted people to see it because they were trying to bluff all the other guys.
Well, fortunately, being close to the coast in Santa Monica here, you got all the diatoms making fresh oxygen from the ocean. So hopefully that's helping.
Just one diatom quicker than a Japanese fucking plutonium-238 can be dumped in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
How's the air over there in Berlin? Is it clean over there?
Germany's got clean air.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of electric rail systems and such.
Well, they do both, you know. Even on the east side, they just outlawed restarting up any more atomic plants. They're going to shut them all down.
Good.
All of them. Well, in the east kept all the brown coal plants, but you know they're like Germany's like one of the leaders on the planet of scrubbing, like that kind of stuff.
Oh, I've never been to Europe, but I'd like to go check it out.
It was so smart that they didn't tear all that junk down immediately like everybody else because they've got that and it all works.
Yeah.
But the weird thing is, you know, France is not going to stop building these things. It doesn't matter if everybody in the world stops using them, right? Everybody else. If you believe any of these weird things like, you know, some crazy virus comes and wipes everybody out like sick, you know, or some kind of like chemical attack or whatever, atomic battle, you know, could be anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know that within 2 weeks, all those things without people, even if somebody's not there to monitor them, even if they automatically shut down, they go into meltdown. And all the atomic plants just start popping off and everybody's dead on the whole planet.
That's called later, dude.
Isn't that weird, though? They're like, oh, this is totally safe.
No. That's not.
Unless
there's no way anything part of that would ever be safe.
Who's going to cover my shift?
Yeah.
It's just a 50-year-old guy who wants to die, right?
Yeah. Actually, you know what? I saw some article about that, actually. This was super fucked up.
In Japan?
Or whatever, but it was about these people in Japan, these old, like, senior citizens that volunteered to go work at the nuclear plant because they're like, fuck it, we're old. Like, we're going to die anyway, so we'll go work there and take care of the business because nobody else wants to go there and do it.
I love Japan, so that's cool.
I was like, wow, that's pretty, I mean, it's
that's
pretty
a selfless,
cool. Yeah,
selfless, noble thought. That's pretty nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I read about
pretty
that.
Pretty conscious.
Yeah, for sure.
Great. I love it.
Yeah. I mean, why not, right? You're like, sponsored by Depends, you're 90, and why not? What do you have to lose?
A lot, man. A terrible, bloody, hemorrhaging death. Painful as can be.
Oh, man.
Painful as can be. But they're being cool. I mean, a lot of those guys are getting that anyways.
Yeah.
They don't talk about it. They can't talk
Your
about it.
American dream is out there. So go get
something's happening.
Dreams don't come
It's
easy.
just a commercial
They've got to
for a
make
sec.
you work for it. So put on your work boots.
Pausing you. I've got them on pause for a second. I guess I could probably Let's see, fly in some crazy picture of the dead TV truck for a second. While I'm waiting for their commercial. Look at that thing. Ugh. Okay, here. I'll go back to screencast and unpause them. God, look at this power. Let's see. Are you there?
We're
Yep.
back. We're back. Live.
After those commercial messages from our sponsor.
Yeah.
You know, I was looking at the cost of that. It should be like $5 a month. That shit's it's like a $99 fee to bypass a commercial. So why not just have the commercial? That's fine. They can do that. You know. Hey, it's pretty classic. In a bit, we have to leave in a sec. I have to go to Venice Beach. This girl, she's got this business making feathered headbands and whatever. She's got this. That's not the point, but the point is she's got a commercial.
She's got this business pissing off fly fishermen.
Yeah. So she wants music for the whatever she's making her film about it. And
commercial.
So I'm gonna bring a plethora of stuff over on the Mac. And Jen and I realized not that it's a new thing to you, but when you're broke, Venice is it's free entertainment, and I don't know what these folks, some of them are doing. I have no idea, but it's pretty funny. There's some classics, man. There's like a guy dressed as Tarzan standing on a stool with 2 rubber snakes, and that's it. He's saying nice things, and he's getting paid more than me. You know, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, are you serious? And there's another gentleman. He's like this Rasta guy, and he presses play on his little speaker, and it's Rasta reggae and dub, and we're like, oh shit, what's he gonna do? And he pulls out this. Jen and I are just looking from the distance, and he has this canvas bag, and he unravels it. It's all this broken glass. So we're like, oh man, this guy's gonna get crazy. He's gonna walk on it. So he pumps the crowd out so much, but I realized his deal, the psychology behind it. He acts like someone is talking some crap in the crowd, and then from that point, he's like, well, I'm not going to do it anymore. This is my last show, or whatever. And then so he loses his reggae accent, and then he's talking like some guy in the Tenderloin, you know? So there's
like a weird menagerie or something. I don't know what's going on down there.
Very strange, but entertaining for free.
It looks like you guys are driving in the back of some old-timey car, and that's the round window.
That's my mirror. I got at the Fairfax flea market.
I know, but put the laptop back and then hold Matt. You hold your hands like you're driving, and then
here we go.
Jen, you gotta wave to the neighbors. Classic.
Hey guys.
Classic.
It's just one hand.
There you go. Yeah.
One hand cruising.
I wish you
talk.
could if you could see me. I wish you guys could shake the laptop, Jen, just gently.
Okay.
So this bumpy road.
Ready?
There
Okay.
it goes. Now you gotta
Hold on.
wave.
Whoop.
Wave with one hand, Jen. Trick everybody.
Hey guys.
Oh, just a couple of speed bumps. No big deal.
Wow, they're broadcasting live. They're broadcasting live from a Model T Ford. This is insane.
You know, actually, when
steampunk.
we do Topanga to surf over there, Jen does a lot. And on my way there in a separate car, I actually had some dead TV broadcasting I plugged the phone into the car stereo. It was pretty interesting. Because I got way pumped on a broadcast, and then I had to leave. But then I was looking at my phone thinking, oh, I could just plug this thing into to the car. So I had you guys with me. It was nice.
Dead TV live from Topanga Canyon.
That's cool. I got some friends out there.
That's a pretty cool place. I like the canyon area. There's this
Sure
canyon.
burns well.
I like some hikes over there. There's this place called Temescal Canyon or Temescal. I don't know how you say it, but
Yeah.
fun little hike there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll break a sweat. It's a good incline, and it's a nice 360 view once you get to the top.
Nothing,
you know?
Nothing puts the fear of the living Jesus in white people in California like forest fires.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Boy, that.
Well, they definitely probably happen there.
Well, there goes flipping your house like you were planning to.
I'll never own a house.
That's all they're fucking worried about, usually.
Yeah.
Is that equity that they hadn't even earned. Because it's all a big joke. Like, anybody can get on reality TV and get fronted a really bad mortgage just predicated on the concept that they're going to be able to sell it for more than they paid for it.
Yeah.
And to get on
How
the
about
property
being
ladder.
happy with your little thing you've got? What happened to that?
Well, I don't know. This is the new economy.
I know.
The only way to make money is being a total dickhead.
Well, that's why I'm going to remain poor, and so is Matthew.
I'm starting to get pissed that people are bumming out on people that are legitimately, expressing a little bit of their complete outrage at some of this mumbo jumbo, and the selfishness of the culture, right?
Super. You know what? Me and Matt called these.
It's so piss poor when people critique people that are just like, they're not tossing Molotov cocktails or jack shit, right? But it's so piss poor to like critique those people because for any reason, basically, because it's like, what are you really saying, man? Are you saying you're bulletproof and you're immune to inflation and all this stuff? Because when they talk about bailing everybody out, that's just printing new money because you have a trillions of dollar deficit. There's no money to bail anybody out. It comes right.
You know what me and Matt call those people?
What do you call
Me
them?
first people.
Well, I know you guys think about a lot of different things, right?
Yeah.
Me first.
I'm not telling anybody to go protest anything. I'm just saying, like, come on. If you can't see it.
If you can't see it, there's something fucking wrong with you.
Well, you're probably still thinking that $1 million is a lot.
It's a lot to me, but not a lot in the scheme of things,
Yeah, but there's like a famous Big Brother house chick who was like kind of a dickhead, but the twister of it, she was like in the UK, her name was Jade Goody or whatever, and she was just totally obnoxious and shitty, but the twister on the whole thing was she was dying of leukemia and she had little kids. Mm-hmm. And so she like ended up like, they made her a tabloid celebrity and she had some scumbag husband or whatever, like eventually. But anyways, she set aside like 2.3 or 3.4 million pounds for her 2 little boys. It's all gone.
That's rad.
It's all gone. It hasn't even been 3 years.
Really?
Yes.
Shit, man.
Because that's the way it is, man. You can't even set aside shit because your people aren't going to do all that shit that they're supposed to do to really protect that shit and put it offshore or something. Or whatever you're supposed to do, if you really want that money.
Put your gold bars in some holes.
No, because the theory is if you've got 2 7-year-old kids and you're not long for this world, that if you put that kind of bread to look out for them, you could take some, right? You could take some and start paying for their day-to-day business, right? And then you could take the rest for interest, and then the whole shebang for whatever they want when they're adults.
Yeah, people are fucking stupid though, and they want frivolous bullshit, and their McMansion and everything else.
Here's this awful woman, right, who's struck down in the prime of her life with her family, who really cared, and like 3 million pounds, like $4 million that she set aside for her kids, made sure she did like all this stuff, interviews and all kinds of stuff, right? Big Brother house, all that stuff, right?
And they spent it all.
They're just like, oh, well, the taxes on your estate and all this other, shit that you didn't consider, and us having to come here and lie. We forgot to that cost some money, and just like, but it just shows you that like all these people that think they're even millionaires, that's pounds. It isn't even dollars, right? It's like $1.60 or whatever. Mm-hmm. All these people that think they're putting something aside for their kids or their family or whatever, they don't even have a fucking clue what's going on.
Nope.
It's a shame. So
it's not because it's you to tell people what the real talk is.
Well, yeah, but also it's not basically how you die. Pick a number, but it's how you live your life. And even if you've been a dickhead your whole life, at least you can have some redeeming qualities about you at some point in your life. And
people turn around. Some folks realize.
You could even do it where you surprise people. Like, that guy was such a dick his whole life, and then you find out once he's dead, he's like, yeah, but did you know he gave all this? He made this other thing happen. And then you're just like, well, I'm not going to say that I was wrong because that hurts, but I'll change the subject. You know, just kind of like deflate casually, save a little face.
Yeah.
You're cute, Anton.
Why are you saying that?
You're just cute. How your mind works, you know?
Do you think I'm reading from a script?
No. The script of your mind, that's all.
Yeah, but people say you're suckers, like in those movies. They're like, hey, if you're... What is it? Kevin Spacey's big rant where he's like, if you're not counterculture by the time you're 20, you got no heart. And if you're counterculture by the time you're 30, then you got no brain.
I haven't seen that.
It's one of those fucking Hollywood moments, you know? That's what that guy, you know, tells himself because he forgets that his dad molested him or whatever. Fucking it drove him to be the way he is, you know? So he's got, so he has no problem saying those lines in a movie.
Yeah.
But it's just a movie, though, right? Because he's an actor. He's paid to read the script.
For sure.
But there's a reason certain things are made and certain points are made, you know?
Definitely.
They just keep reinforcing that shit. But, you know, there's got to be some middle ground, don't you think?
Yeah.
Well, we're just living a middle ground, maybe. So stop looking. So. You know, just start doing, right?
I think more people need to do instead of thinking about this or hoping for this or that. Everybody just needs to charge it, you know?
Hey, I know you guys got to go, but check this out. Why don't you just tell everybody again for a second, you know, like, how did you get on the path of starting a nonprofit, and what in God's earth possessed you to go do something for somebody else, especially people with different skin color and a different economic social status? Because, you know, you had a lot of opportunities, but that doesn't mean jack shit. So is Paris Hilton or whoever, right?
Yeah,
so you tell them.
Well, I guess because the three of us that started it, none of us were like, I mean, we're definitely in the have category, right? Because I grew up with a family and a house, and so I'm already better off than half the world, I guess. But, you know, by no means were we well off or anything like that. So I grew up in a super rural place, and a lot of the people I grew up with were, you know, sons of fishermen or the ancestors of people that were enslaved and stuff in the South where I grew up. And so they just didn't have a lot of education, and they didn't have a lot of opportunity to be exposed to creative things like music or theater or even just environmental things. So there's a lot of people just litter and do things like that. So, you know, I grew up in this town, and my dad was a professor, and so I had a little bit more of a insight out into the outside world than my friends growing up. But yet I grew up with these people, and I saw that, like, wow, I had this opportunity because my dad was a professor. So I kind of got this bigger outside perspective on the world. And so, you know, having talks with my friends, they kind of had a similar upbringing, getting exposed to different things. And we thought, well, you know, shit, man, like, what if we were able to, like, expose these kids, like you said, kids other than white kids or other than people that have a lot of financial help from their parents or the ability to go on a European vacation or wherever, where these, you know, inspiring experiences happen. Like, how could we just on a small, local, individual, one-on-one scale, how could we help to broaden these kids' perspectives and their minds on the world? And because, you know, kids that are teenagers, they're the future, and they're who's going to be, you know,
pissed off.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Or they're the ones that are going to be like shoving McDonald's in their faces and eating MSG and blowing everything up and sitting around playing video games and de-evolving the society. So how can we help out with that, you know?
Too late.
Too late. Well, I'm going to charge it anyway and see what I can do, one person or one kid at a time. And we're doing some basic. Actually, one of our programs that we're doing, this mobile program, is
it makes a difference. You know, going to other countries and getting exposed to some things didn't do much good for Cameron. He's the prime minister of fucking England, our George Bush. But on the other hand, let's not bag on those guys. Back to the. There's a possibility.
By the sun. Hold on.
Well, there's a possibility that could do a lot of good and really I know that some of the when I was in all the gifted schooling, you know, the additional schooling that I did, I know that some of the kind of relationships that I had with those people, you know, different teachers, whatever, gave me a lot of, you know, it pushed me like away from being a sociopath.
That's good.
Because it was where the rubber met the road of real living and really traveling in your brain and thinking and really communicating and really understanding and learning some stuff. Or while I was learning, so I'm willing to venture that all this kind of folly, you know, there's two different good reasons. You know, there's a good possibility that it can make an impact in somebody's life, and also it's just good for you.
Yeah, totally. It's like, okay, so what did you do with your life, or what did you do for a job? Well, I introduced 4 kids to exploring their creativity or their creative side. Like, is that, or I sat
yeah,
in
but
my
you know,
office
we almost got to leave everybody alone. We're at the point like where on a spiritual level, we got to kit out our trucks like Australian trucks that are driving across the country with just this like scoop on the front that just flings these fucking kangaroos, but they're not kangaroos, right out of our way. We can't hit the brakes.
Yeah.
You know, and you don't really want to be running over everything. You just have a scoop and it just flips it off to the side because else we'll spend all day going, look at these fucking idiots.
Yeah.
Literally. I mean, it's everywhere. That's why I live in a foreign country. Like, I couldn't even tell you what the idiots are saying on the street or at the cafe or on the TV. I don't have a fucking clue what they're saying. You know? It doesn't even matter. I'm just like, I don't even give a shit what you're saying. Not only do I not understand what you're saying, I do not care. And I've set up my life in a way where I just don't even, it doesn't even register in my consciousness at all. I don't even overhear somebody saying something ridiculous because they're saying it in another ridiculous Brandenburg accent. So it's so cool for me.
Yeah.
Because I'm like a ghost, you know?
Phantasmo. I
like it. But I spent a lot of time listening to a bunch of bullshit that I didn't agree with. I mean, how many fucking statues do you need of Ronald Reagan? Come on.
I don't know, man. I don't know what those are even necessary.
They're building one in Newport Beach, and then they're just like, oh, we don't know where to put it, except we're going to put it outside a gym on Bonita Canyon. It's like, good. Who's going to see that?
Hopefully nobody.
Just ridiculous. Why are they putting it there? They got like fucking 20 miles of coastline. They can put it anywhere.
Yeah.
They're like, oh,
yeah, totally.
he loved Newport Beach so much. I was like, John, you're thinking of John Wayne, dude.
John Wayne, right?
Yeah. Yeah, his time. That was a different time.
Reagan loved fucking Santa Barbara, you idiot.
Yeah.
These people are such morons. But that just allowed them to get into the upper management of being scum-sucking creeps.
Well,
there's a whole management
for that position.
Well, tell me about it. Have you been to San Francisco? What do you think are all those buildings?
Yep.
Those aren't all like fucking. That's not Mattel and See's Candy. Those skyscrapers. Right?
I know, but you know what's funny about San Francisco? Because you know we just lived there. We just moved down here like in the summertime from there. Everybody tries to act like, oh, yeah, the city, there's no corporate greed here. I'm like, yeah, right, dude.
They don't know what's going on. Goldman Sachs is right there on 555.
I know.
They're on California Street. They got a massive. They took over They took over Bank of America's building.
Yeah.
It was massive.
Yep.
People don't even know what those guys are, though. It's so funny.
Yeah, definitely.
But I was just talking about that earlier. Now I'm bugging you guys, right?
No.
Okay, well, check this out. I was just talking about that earlier to Tommy or somebody. It's like, I just posted on my Facebook wall. I'm like, here's this professor. He's a socialist, but it doesn't matter, right? For 1 second. There's a professor just pointing out who Obama's cabinet is, where they're from, what they're. It's all money. It's all the financial business in these walls. So it's just so hilarious, you know. But a lot of people in America would be like, well, we can't. That doesn't count because this communist U.S. hater guy from Canada who's always talking shit about America. It's like, doesn't change the fact that it's all Goldman Sachs and J.P. Morgan.
Hey man, you need
and
money
AIG.
to get elected in this country. So if anybody
beyond
thinks
that, we're not even talking about that.
Yeah, you know.
America's business is economic warfare with the world, and their government isn't these guys that are planning these, like, well, part of it is. It's the covert stuff, you know. That's why Petraeus switched seats into the CIA.
One very unique feature of the CTS-V series is the G-meter, which measures cornering forces. Normally you'd find technology like this on a fighter jet, but Cadillac thought their high-performance vehicles were equally deserving. An impressive touch. Yes, even on a wagon.
More than half of the households in America right now have government assistance. So when the news and everything talks about socialism or any of this kind of mumbo jumbo, they don't even know what they're talking about because it's already this weird thing going on anyways. But they're just doing that. The reason why they're doing it isn't because, you know, the Republican Congress or whatever, or these people want to just give away free money to these lazy freeloaders that don't want to work. That's how they're... Instead of, like, doing the 1930s thing with all these public works that cost more money, they're just printing money and saying, hey, here's your little help with this or whatever. Shut up. Don't go on, you know, you can't go on unemployment because you have this much money. It's like this weird way of keeping it just, like, not very visible. Right?
Definitely.
So it's cool to go out and help people.
Yeah. I mean, you know, do what you can, right?
Well, I'm just saying that people need to, while you can, that's super cool.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what
I mean?
Yeah, while you can. It's like.
And then if shit gets too crazy, Matthew is first generation American. His dad is from England, so we'll try to get his passport and get the hell out of here.
England's just nutty as can be too, you know.
Yeah, but I would use that as a way of just having citizenship in Europe at some point. I don't know where, but it's a great ticket
to travel.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. But right now, we're here now.
We're gonna be here now. We're gonna go and do a bike ride. Get some, as you would call it, some smog air. Some nice smog air.
Everybody bikes here. It's crazy. I was just reading the Deutsche Welle, which is the big news.
Okay.
It's one of the big...
You know, you might like this. You might be proud of your American counterparts for this. I heard on the radio, especially for LA, because you used to live here, so you know what's up with all the crazy air and cars and all that. But in the U.S., they started this thing, like, city car share, but it's for bikes.
Cool.
So all these major cities like New York and LA and these big, you know, urban centers, they're going to have these bike shares, and they're making all these bike lanes to encourage people to stop driving their car everywhere, and especially here because it's warm like all year round, you know.
Okay, well, you guys just go down and go to the Pico bike share station, and you tell me what's going on, right?
Yeah, okay. Exactly. I don't wear my black bandana.
You need to look at. I look at it every other day. LA Now, just their local report, and then check out like Long Beach or wherever they say there's a murder, and they got the maps. Where there's like 200 fucking murders since 200. And they show you it's just like 4 blocks, and there's 200 murders since 2007. And all these neighbors.
You guys go live over there, and we're going to be over here. Yeah.
Pico and Crenshaw. They'll be like, there's been 145 murders or something. They'll show the dots, and it's literally like every single street multiple times. How do you think a bike share is going to...
So in that case, we'll keep it to the west side while we're biking
around. They need to think a lot of this stuff out more. So something tells me that the things that I see in the future, man, that's the plan. It's going to be sketchy central. But we'll see. Anyways, I was looking at Deutsche Welle, and they were talking about my neighborhood in Prince Lauerberg here, and they were just saying about how the yuppies and everything, it's like, there's bike lanes everywhere here. They're on the sidewalk. They're like as big as the sidewalk. Because the sidewalks used to be super massive, and so they just have a bike lane closer to the street. And they're saying like, oh, there's so many yuppies that the bike lanes aren't even sufficient. It's like
too many yuppies riding their bikes.
There's too many people riding bikes that they're not even big enough to hold all the people riding bikes most of the time, and people almost get killed.
Oh man!
Because these crazy rude foreigners come here and they don't pay attention to old ladies.
Oh man!
It's bullshit, man. People come walking straight into it like they're fucking drunk or they're listening to their iPods, man.
Yeah, they're just in their own.
Are they tourists? They come walking right into the bike lane.
Do people drive on the other side of the road in Germany or no?
No, only in England.
Just England?
Yeah.
Do you ride your bike around the town?
I ride it every day. My bike is bitching. It's downstairs.
Nice.
I love riding bikes. Yeah. It's so fun. I feel like a 10-year-old.
Yeah, we don't have those crazy fixie things. We have like classy English. Like seriously, it's from the early '60s, and it's awesome to ride that around here in Santa Monica. It's got that little thing in the back, that little clamp. You can put a bag of groceries on it and all that crap.
Are we gonna compare bikes? Are we doing real bike talk?
Oh, yeah. We could do real bike talk. They're right outside.
Real bike talk.
Well, I'll go get my real bike talk, but I'll show you my bike right here. Ready? Here's a good one. Let me see if I just grab one. Are you really gonna move this along? We gonna do it real style? Real talk?
Here's our yard out here.
Okay, wait 1 second. Hold on. Okay, you're getting your bike ready, and I'll get mine. I gotta disconnect my hard drive right here. The free agent.
Bigger.
But I'm gonna get this. Yeah. The talking's gonna go the way of the buffalo in a second, but okay. I'm gonna grab. Whoa! Hard drive alert. Okay. Let's see. Okay, where's your bike? Show me your whips and chains.
Seems like the connection's good. So okay, we lock it up to a tree here.
Can you see that?
There's
our bike.
Okay, here's mine. Here's the classic English. Well, it's like a girl's friend, whatever.
My bike. I can hear my bike laughing all the way downstairs at your bike.
Here's my little clamp for my goodies. Boom. There we go. It's just simple. A nice shock absorbent seat there.
I'm coming downstairs.
Yeah.
Come on.
We have a small garden too, right here, where we grow vegetables. Just right here. Tomatoes and some stuff going on.
Well, I'll show you my plants in a minute, but we're still on bikes.
Yeah, it's real bike talk. Okay, we're ready for your bike.
Well, mine's right here. I guess I gotta drag it over here a little bit into the light, maybe. Let's see. Maybe you can see it like this. Here's my bike right here. My bike's a 1936 Swiss Army bike.
Hold on. We gotta make the screen lighter. Hold on a second.
Go. And see, get it bigger.
Brad.
See, it's like
a little dark, but yeah, I got it.
Swiss Army plate. I got some lights. See?
That's what I'm missing. I need a light.
1936 style. Handsome light.
So cool.
I got a bell. It sounds like this.
So rad.
There we go.
But you were talking about plants. I mean, I got a palm tree right here, too, in this Germany. Yeah, we like plants over here.
Oh, big time.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. It's a pony. What is that called? A ponytail palm or something?
I don't know. I call it a hippie plant. I burn incense in the pot. I got a bunch of plants. I got this one too. Check this out. Wait. Oh man, can you see it? Wait.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Wow, you guys have some fresh oxygen up in there.
Yeah. No, think again. Well, was that show and tell?
Real bike top.
Well, you know what would be rad if we could have a virtual. I don't know if this is possible unless it was on our iPhone or something. We could do our virtual bike rides together.
I'm all about business when I'm riding a bike.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know if anybody could really hear you guys when you're talking. Maybe they could. I don't know how that worked out.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Matthew's totally shape-shifting reptilian David Icke hippie Jesus. He went all David Icke hippie Jesus on us.
Oh shit! It's a Scientology. I forgot to tell you. No, just kidding, right? Hello. Man, you know how many Scientology foundations there are here?
In LA?
Of course, you know, it's ridiculous. It's more. They have more than McDonald's, dude. It's crazy. It's unbelievable.
Unreal, huh?
But yeah, we
were in Hollywood the other night, and we were just like, oh shit, there's another one. Oh shit, there's another center. Like, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
They're getting all these weak-minded celebrities and all their money.
And like, you know, like what's his face?
That shit is
commercial.
One very unique feature of the CTSV series is the G meter.
One unique feature of the Ustream producer package with Anton Newcombe is see you later on that fucking commercial. Hey, you guys, thanks a lot if you're paying attention. Maybe they'll call back. Let's listen to... Oh, that's cool. We'll rock this instead. Now everybody dig this.
1, 2, 3, ow!